Hi everyone, thanks for coming back for another video. I'm gonna try another book video. I've got a book haul and I'm gonna tell you all about it. So here at FlyOn, we are art and animals. Those are the two components of my life. The animal one is a little bit easier to explain. I do falconry, I have lots of reptiles, I train my cat. And the art category can kind of be a bit versatile. Mostly lately, it's been makeup related. I've just really been in love with that for a few years here for some reason. I've done dance, I've done some book related content. I'm pointing to the books on the floor. And I don't know, I'm sure there's other stuff that I'm forgetting right now, but I've been watching a lot of Booktube. I've been really obsessed with a couple channels and I love learning about the new releases, and I've been enjoying some of the reading vlogs to kind of see what's good and what's not. I've got a lot of recommendations. I use the website Goodreads to track my reading, and I'm the Lady Anna on there if you care to come find me. So I have access to a huge type of free library, and it's hard to explain, but I'm just going to call it a giant free library because that's essentially what it is. But I was able to go today and you can take as many books as you want for free. And that completely changes your reading because you're like, well, if I don't like it, it's free. And I can just take it back and donate it again. So I haven't been in a while. And some stuff stuck out to me and I have a whole box full. So why not just share it? So let's get started. One of the ways you can downsize your book collection, which I've been doing pretty well with lately, because the makeup has taken over some of the bookshelves. However, I have like 2,500 books in my house. I don't need all of them, and I'm not going to read all of them. Probably half of them are read. No, that's not true. About 900 of them I've marked as read on Goodreads. But the free access thing just blows up your library. But one of the ways you can downsize is by taking a huge hardback book and getting the paperback. So this one specifically was not fitting on my shelf because all the others I had were paperback. So I found a paperback one of this one exactly. I have, let's see, I think this is the 5th book in the Outlander series. I worked really hard to finish the 2nd book this year. I've only technically read 3 books so far and it's February. That's a little low for me, but these are huge. It was like 900 pages. So it's kind of like a couple books in one. But I'm going to swap this out. I'm going to redonate this one and I'm going to have this as a paperback. I've watched the series for Outlander, love the characters. Was a little bored the last book, but they're good. I mean, they're entertaining and the characters are fun. It's also historical fiction, so you kind of learn about wherever they're going in the 1700s. Another book I'm downsizing. I have like 3 versions of this in my house. I Am Malala. She's a very famous, I believe she's from Pakistan, girl from Pakistan who was going to school and got shot in the face. That's not a spoiler really. But she turned that event into a movement to understand some of what is going on in the Middle East and the surrounding areas. It's very, very informative. It's been a few years since she was kind of doing interviews and a whole bunch of stuff like that. She still does appear though in some of the human rights movements. But this is the young readers version. I wanted to read the original book again, but if I had the young readers edition, I could count it as another book that I read. So I got a paperback. It's a tall paperback, but it's a little smaller, so that'll save some room on my shelf. All right, I don't have the hardback of this one, but this is another one that I'm gonna swap out. Michael Crichton, I've read him off and on since Jurassic Park in the 90s. They're very easy reads typically, which is nice sometimes when you have a dense or like philosophical heavy book and you're just like, I just want to clear my brain. So I haven't read this, Pirate Latitudes, but I kind of collect some Michael Crichton here and there just because it's nostalgic and it's a fun read. Another one of my favorites is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I actually haven't watched the movie for this. This is the movie cover. I believe I have a larger book of this. I have a couple copies, but this artwork, I actually like face it front and display in my bedroom because I liked this book so much. It's like post-apocalyptic and you have no idea what's going on, but a man and his son are trying to survive, and it's like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Cormac McCarthy also has a very interesting way of writing. I don't know how to explain it, so I'm not going to, but I think this is a smaller version of a book I already have, and highly recommend if you like that kind of story. Egypt Game is a YA version, what is it? This is a YA or young adult oriented book. I can't remember if I read this one. I'm pretty sure I did. And this is either a smaller copy or the cover is more interesting. If I haven't notated the other one, so I like to underline in pencil in books, whether it's like to help me look back and remember the plot or just like a quote that I really like. So if I didn't notate the other one, I might swap it out for this one. Night Circus, I think I have a tall paperback. This is a smaller paperback. I audio read this book for the most part, so I don't think I have notations in the one that I actually own. I hated this until I realized it was completely symbolic of growing up. And then it transformed and I wanted to start it over. I don't think I did, but it's symbolic. And if you think about it in those terms, it's phenomenal. If you're just trying to read for the plot, you're gonna be like, what the hell? But yeah, this one ended up becoming, I don't know about one of my favorite reads, but definitely like at least a 4-star out of 5. Okay, there's a couple of sci-fi series that aren't based on a book. Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who. These are swatches. There wasn't a book that the movies were based on, and they're like 3 of the biggest like sci-fi worlds and fandoms. But books have been written after the fact. I think I have 2 books of the original trilogy. This one has Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi all in one volume. So if I have 2 of these, I can just swap out this one. The only reason I might not do that is because this is a thick book to finish, and those would be like, I'm kind of pointing in the direction that they are, but that doesn't make any sense to you. The others are shorter, so like I could count it as 3 books. Maybe I still could for this one, but it was pretty new and it had the original trilogy in it, and so I just got it for fun. Some of these I may just end up redonating. Like I like to shuffle my books around, and I've been downsizing a little bit, but I still have a lot, like at least 2,000, but probably more in the house. Also for fun, I got a Buffy the Vampire Slayer book. I don't know if this is like the first, it says the Angel Chronicles Volume 1. They're just fun to have. I don't think Buffy was based on a book, but I could be wrong. It's just a fun little collector's thing. I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I didn't watch that series in like, it was like 10 to 15 years after it was out. Like I wasn't allowed to watch stuff like that when I was growing up. So we'll see. I don't know. I might just take this one right back, but it's nostalgic for maybe not my childhood, but like a younger version of me, and just a fun little souvenir. Okay, and then a major downgrade is this little mini book of Walden by Henry David Thoreau. I don't think I'm gonna swap this out for the book that I have of this. I haven't read this yet, but I have a little tiny like bookshelf thing that I converted, and it would fit on that. So I just got it. All right, I have a big finale here, but it's at the bottom of the box. So let me start to show you some of the books that I don't own already, and were not a swap out. Some of these I checked Goodreads at the location to see if they were on my like want to read list. Others I just kind of got the feeling that they were. One of them is The Librarian of Auschwitz. It's fiction, but I think it's going to be based on the experiences of a real-life Auschwitz prisoner, Dita Kraus. This is the incredible story of a girl who risked her life to keep the magic of books alive during the Holocaust. Wow. A book about books and a book based in the World War II era, like, that checks 2 boxes for me. So we'll have to see. It says based of, so I'll have to be careful what I actually like learn about Auschwitz in particular. But I think this was one that I wanted to read. There's a couple on my list that's like the Librarian of ... But this looks like a fairly newly published book. You can kind of tell when they're newer. 2017. Yeah, I mean it's not like put out in the 80s or something. So we'll see. This is probably going to be a heavy one, but I think the topic is going to keep my attention. This is a new one, and I think this is one of the series I wanted to read, A Court of Thorn and Roses. I think this was kind of compared to Game of Thrones, but I think it's a little bit magical, but also like, you know, the different houses and courts and stuff. Like, I think people either loved it or hated it. I saw it on Booktube recently, but I've had it on my list for a while. Hopefully it's this one and not something else I'm thinking of. Because there's also a lot of like roses and court of something on my list. When 19-year-old huntress Feyre kills a wolf in the woods, a terrifying creature arrives to demand retribution. Dragged to a treacherous magical land she knows about only from legends, Feyre is F-E-Y-R-E. I'll have to look that up. Fair, maybe? Discovers that her captor is not truly a beast, but one of the lethal, immortal fairies who once ruled her world. At least he's not a beast all the time. I wonder if this is like a Beauty and the Beast thing. That sounds fascinating. That's not exactly what I thought it was going to be, but yes. This one was also a new one that's been all over Booktube. I think it's based on Greek mythology. A bold and subversive retelling of the goddess's story that manages to be both epic and intimate in its scope, recasting the most infamous female figure from the Odyssey as a hero in her own right. So I don't know the legend of Circe in particular. It keeps reminding me of the Circe from Game of Thrones, but it's not that. So I don't know how much this was going to keep my attention, but it was a new one that I wanted to check out, and now I have it, so fun. All right, and this one I got because I was in the YA section. It's called Shooting Kabul, and I think it's going to be about adjusting from Kabul is Pakistan, right? Oh, American ignorance. So I think it's going to be a young adult version of adjusting to life in the US after coming from Pakistan. The YA books usually go quicker for me, but I enjoy reading from different perspectives, especially in a version of America right now that is not very accepting of other cultures. Fadi never imagined he'd start middle school in Fremont, California, thousands of miles from home in Kabul, and half a world away from his missing 6-year-old sister, Miriam. Oh, is there going to be a mystery in this too? Adjusting to life in the US isn't easy for Fadi's family, and as the events of September 11th unfold, the prospects of locating Miriam in a war-torn Afghanistan seem slim. Sorry, not Pakistan, it's Afghanistan. I really should have known that because I've read I Am Malala. And she's, yeah, anyway, I'm so sorry about that. Okay, this ticks a lot of boxes for me, and it looks to be an easy read. Usually YA is written a little more simply, and I know nothing else about this. I don't think it was on a list or anything, so we'll see. This book by Philippa Gregory, I believe, is part of a series that was turned into a TV series, The White Queen. Yeah, I was looking for the series of books. I'm not sure which one this is, but I've been wanting to collect these. Again, it's historical fiction. But it's about a very real period of time in England. I think this is before Henry VIII. It was kind of hard to like remember who the characters were in the show, but Rebecca Ferguson is in there, and I followed her from Dune because I liked her and I wanted to see her in other things, not realizing she's in The Greatest Showman, and I had already watched her in something else. She's not the actual person singing. She's an actor that's pretending to sing. Anyway, this was a show that I liked. I wanted to collect the books, and I am, and I don't know which one this is yet, but we'll see. And then this one I think is on my Goodreads want to read list. It's called Nobody Gets Out Alive, and it's short stories. And that kind of tells me that maybe somebody dies in every single story, but like, isn't that creepy and weird and like, what the heck? There's an inscription in it. That's another thing when you get free books, is that sometimes you get souvenirs in them. Gail, thank you so much for all your warm support and generous caring over the years. These stories reveal everything: the hurt, heartache, pain, and ultimate triumph. Love, Diane, May 20th, 2022. Aw, I have your book. I don't know if these go together or what. It sounds like maybe they don't. Short stories are fun because it's almost like every chapter is its own book, you know? Like, you feel like it's, it takes you on a very short journey, but usually they're very profound. So I'll check if this one was on my list, but I think it's really going to be intriguing. Okay, grand finale. I found something very, very special to me in the kids section. The kids section it's young adult at the top shelf, so then it goes down in age as you get to the bottom and the shorter kids. I've been obsessed with horses my entire life. Like, as a fetus, I was obsessed with horses. And I read so many horse books when I was little. One of them, the series that I read, was Misty of Chincoteague, and the real horse and the real location that horse was from is on the East Coast, and I've visited it. I'm from, the East Coast. And how cool is that? Like, the descendants of that horse still exist. But the author wrote a lot more books than just Misty of Chincoteague. I found a set of 15 of the books. Now, I have a couple of them. Misty of Chincoteague is one, so I am going to swap these out, but I wanted to save this till last because I was so excited about it. These are so nostalgic for me. I would totally just read them all in a row. I might do that for some of them. Some of them I've read, some of them I haven't. Black Gold is one that, oh my gosh, that reminds me of my childhood best friend so much. I don't know if I've actually read that one though. I may have. But to find a set of them all, and they all like match size and like font, and this is so special. I'll have to see if it's the complete set. Because I was a kid in the 80s, so they're at least that old. They're beautiful to look at. I could not believe the whole set was there. And I'm just feeling some kind of way about that. I don't think they're sitting here in order. Yeah, because some of the Misty ones are like down here when they should be up here. But yeah, I'll swap out some. I'll make room on the shelf for this. This is beautiful. Maybe I'll leave it as a decoration somewhere. Yeah, like even the box is beautiful. Oh, it might have them. Wait, 16 classic stories. There's 15 books in here. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 books in here. So one of them either has 2 stories or not. Anyway. Watch me be missing one book, and then I'll have to do the OCD thing where I'm like, I need that one book. Okay. Anyway, thank you for joining me for a little book haul. I may make some more book content if that's the art medium that I'm into. I do post art videos for the most part twice a week. Sometimes I post something that's a little farther removed from what I normally do on Sundays. So I don't know. We'll see if I post this on a Sunday or what. It's art. Literature and books and fun and reading, and I love it. So thanks so much for joining. Let me know if you like this kind of content. I know YouTube probably doesn't like it when I jump all around, but I don't want to separate into 2 channels or 3 channels or whatever I'm into that week. So this is what I'm gonna do, at least for now. I'm pretty stubborn, so yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh my gosh, why can't I remember anything? I may make some more book content as my, what did I say? Sometimes I post something a little bit less, like, I want to do it again.